Charles E. Smith Jr. here. I'm proud to be introducing our newest segment right now, and that is going to be our Arizona Sports Report. I've got a man out there in the desert sweating it out in the heat just to bring you guys all the best, and let me welcome our newest Inside Sports field correspondent, Sean Goyal. Sean, how are things going out there? I know the surprise. Everyone wanted to talk about the Cardinals getting Kevin Cobb and getting the $1 million man, Larry Fitzgerald, signed up. But really, the surprise team out there in the desert is on the diamond.
Thanks, Charles. And you are absolutely correct. The Arizona Diamondbacks are the definite hot team right now out here in the hot desert. No pun intended. Now, with that in mind, you got to know that this team, who no one thought was going to be in contention, obviously being in the same division as the world defending champs, the San Francisco Giants, are obviously facing them quite a few times a year. Now, the D-backs are currently 7.5 games above the San Francisco Giants, which is giving them a good standing in their division where they are now running away with it, giving them the opportunity to go ahead and focus on beating everybody that they need to in the NL to go ahead and get the best record they can so they can put themselves in good position for the playoffs coming up.
All right, perfect. Now, one thing we got to think about is we look at how they really haven't wilted down the stretch, even though you talk about, they're ahead of the defending World Series champs. But one of those reasons has to be coming from the top. When we look at their manager, none other than Kirk Gibson, a two-time MVP when he was playing, and it looks like he's infusing that same type of tenacity into this ball club.
Yeah, definitely. Gibby is one of the best skippers there is in the MLB. The guy's got good focus, good concentration, and he knows how to control his players. Take, for instance, when Jay Up recently got upset at the umpire, he got thrown out of the game. Gibson came in and went ahead and took him out because he knows we need that player to go ahead and finish off this great run that we're having. Gibson's one of the better coaches out there in regards to also how he controls the health of his players, because he lines up his players in a format so that they can get rest, but also getting their reps out there in the field. And with that in mind, now that they're coming closer into the playoffs and wild card games, all of the players are getting healthy and they're getting a really strong power behind them.
All right, perfect. And well, what do you think about how are they doing right now? And are there any series that are upcoming right now that are they got any important matches coming up that we should be talking about?
Yeah, definitely. The main ones you want to look at right now are the D-backs facing the San Diego Padres. They got a 4-game series with them that started yesterday. They got a game tonight that's going on. Now, Hudson's going to be the one who's going to be taking the mound. He's 3-0 in his last 3 starts with a 1.19 ERA. Taking that into account, he's definitely going to be able to put some hurt down on the Padres. On top of that, we've got Miguel Montero currently at a 16-game hitting streak. With that reach that he's having lately, we should be hitting a couple out of the ballpark. When we move over down into the division of the San Francisco Giants, they're facing the Dodgers. Now, they should actually win all 3 of those games and sweep the Dodgers, so the D-backs aren't really going to catch too many games here. What the really other concern is to watch is Milwaukee versus Philly. Right now, they got a 3-game series going on too, and I think Philly should be able to take 2 of those 3 games, helping to bring them down and bringing the D-backs up one more level.
All right, perfect. And one thing they talk about, they always talk about attendance. Even though the D-backs are having this really unexpected great season, is it really being reflected in the ballparks? How's the numbers out there as far as people going to watch the games live out there?
Well, to be honest with you, when I first moved out here about 4 or 5 months ago, nobody was going to the game. It was so bad to the point that they were giving away free tickets, allowing kids in for free. In fact, they even had a deal out here where it was $20, you get a free hot dog, you get a hot dog, a soda, and your game day ticket for $20. And, obviously the economy's tough, but if that can't get fans out, what can? And in turn with that, what really happened that helped out to bring fans to the game is this weekend is the 10-year reunion of the World Series champs in 2001, who were the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Right.
With that, I believe they sold out every ticket for tonight's game, and they're also rocking their vintage purple jerseys, which I do like a lot.
All right, so I know you do your best to get people to get out there to support the D-backs, and hopefully attendance goes up and stays strong as they make another unlikely playoff run on this, the 10th anniversary of their first unlikely playoff run.
Definitely, it is going to be an exciting run.
All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and get over to the gridiron. Of course, everybody's excited out there, especially with your football team. There's Larry Fitzgerald, of course, your multi-million-dollar, $100 million man. But more importantly, too, he's finally got a quarterback since Kurt Warner left as Kevin Kolb comes over from Philadelphia. Philadelphia's loss is your gain. So with Kolb, you got Fitzgerald, also Todd Heap coming over from the Baltimore Ravens. How do you like that team shaping up on offense this season?
Well, it's looking really good. The entire city, if not the entire state, is incredibly excited about this team. And to be honest with you, coming out here, I was really kind of worried about how big the fan base would be for the Cardinals. And after I went to the San Diego game in preseason 3, I actually saw a lot of great fans, kind of reminding me of Green Bay fans, a good family kind of environment. But this team is looking fantastic, and they're electric right now. You're absolutely right with Kevin Kolb coming over. He's got a 6-year contract, $55 million, and he is right now the main guy, leading our offense. He's got a great target with Larry Fitzgerald. Just signed a 6-year contract, $120 million. Got that money that he was looking for, with $50 million guaranteed. He's got a great target there, along now with Todd Heap, like you stated, coming from the Baltimore Ravens. He's got another 2-year contract there, and he's actually a Phoenix native, so the fans love him out here. He grew up here. He went to ASU, and he also now is back to come and play for the Cardinals. Most of the time, whenever he even touches the ball, everyone yells out, "Boo!" I don't get it.
And
I don't get it.
The other good thing is not only a big body, but really a sure-handed tight end. And then what about the backfield there with Beanie Wells? How are things going with the as far as running back position?
Well, the running back position is something that the Cardinals have to really focus on this year because the trade to Hightower over to the Redskins was a move that they were doing because they went ahead and picked up rookie running back Ryan Williams. They signed him to a 4-year contract, but unfortunately, he hurt his hamstring in the second preseason game and may be out for the entire season. So with that, what they went ahead and did is obviously Beanie Wells is taking the majority of the carries now, but he's not that great at the pass block. He's not very good at picking up that lineman or that safety that comes through. So what they did was they went ahead and pulled up Chester Taylor for a 1-year contract to go ahead and maybe help out with some of those passing plays.
And, Chester Taylor, he was really kind of abysmal last year, averaging only 2.4 yards a carry. But people forget the year that he had while he was in the backfield with Adrian Peterson over there in Minnesota. He was quite a threat, not just running, but being that quick pass-catching back out of the backfield, too. He was able to add another dimension to the Minnesota Vikings when he was there.
Yeah, and, people are easily quick to forget how good someone really is. And with him and Beanie Wells being in the backfield, they'll have a good 1-2 punch. So Kolb can get that ball aired out and, of course, make some great touchdowns with Larry Fitz.
All right, perfect. So how do you see it shaping up? Of course, Seattle won the division only with a 7-9 record last year. But we look at the changes that have been coming about. Tavares Jackson, a cast-off from Minnesota, is now quarterbacking in Seattle. Alex Smith in Frisco, and Smith is probably never going to be a decent quarterback. So you look at the two top quarterbacks in this division. You got to look at Sam Bradford, who was a rookie last year with St. Louis, and now you look at Kevin Kolb getting his chance. What do you think the Cardinals' chances are for taking this division this year?
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, I think they have a really strong chance, and you're absolutely on point when you say that their main contender in the division, opponent would be the Rams, with Sam Bradford leading the way. Now, the main thing right now that the Cardinals need to focus on with wins and losses is they have 3 games coming up. The Panthers, which are going to be hosting the number 1 draft pick, Cam Newton. What they're going to be doing to him is going to put some serious pressure, and I think that's an easy win for them. Kevin Kolb's comfortable with the Cardinals. He's got some good rhythm going with them, and so he should be able to take over that team. The defense isn't very strong either with the Panthers, even though they do have Ron Rivera, who was the number 1 defensive coordinator last year with the San Diego Chargers.
Right.
So he's leading the way. I still don't think that the defense is influenced enough by him yet to make an impact on the strong offense of the Cardinals.
Well, let me ask you though, on the other side of the ball, with the Cardinals on defense, though, you look at it last year, they lost Carlos Dansby, who's a very good linebacker, and this year they lost Rogers Cromartie in the deal for Kevin Kolb. So how are they doing there? Those are some chunks that got taken out of the second and third levels of defense there. How are they going to be, the Cardinals? What are they looking like on defense?
Well, now with the defense, there's a little bit of concern as well. You're absolutely right with Rogers Cromartie being traded over to the Eagles for a second-round pick and Kevin Cobb. Now, that was a good trade for them because they had Greg Toller at cornerback starting for them, a proven veteran who's been good in the good in the secondary, and strong every year that he's been playing. Now, what had happened was in that San Diego preseason game, he went ahead and got injured, so they went ahead and started their the Cardinals' number one draft pick this year, Patrick Peterson, at cornerback. So Peterson's going to be the one who's going to be starting the games, which brings a little bit of concern because they don't really have much strength now in the secondary other than A-Dub, who is one of the better safeties in the league right now.
All right, very good. So, that's a report. We got a rundown on the Diamondbacks. The Cardinals are looking good. I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you, man, is I'm going to come out there. Me and the lady are going to come out, 4 tickets, Cardinals and Giants, the first weekend in October. How would you feel about that, man, hanging out with me?
Hey, it's on you.
Somewhat.
Hey, I'm always down for a good football game. And the Cardinals, I'd love to see them.
All right, perfect. Well, about time to wrap it up. And for some of you, this is the Arizona Sports Report, and I know there's some ASU fans out there who said, well, hey, what about us? And when I say Arizona, we're kind of focusing more on the Phoenix area, but maybe we'll cover a little bit of ASU sports next time as well. But Mr. Goyal, it's been great, and thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll make this a regular type of thing.
Thanks again, Charles.
All right, perfect. And now let's go ahead and take it back. Thanks for joining us for the Arizona Sports Report.